I fucking hate this format. All the decks are too similar. They're all cookie cutters. There's nothing unique about this format. There's just everything just sucks about it. I mean, it's just the same decks that top everything. And there's just no point to it anymore. And I mean, it's just. My apologies, people. I thought it was September 4th of 2011. That's what I was going to say. This format sucked. But no, it's September 4th of 2012. I just want to say thank you, Konami. You've actually made this game a little bit more playable. Today I want to give a rundown of a couple of things. First of all, I just want to mention real quickly that this video will be strictly about decks in general that will perform really well in this format and that will do really good. We obviously know heroes will do really well just because they got that dark hero and that Super Poly is just going to become much more of a badass. It already is, but just the fact that it's just take anything out is just way too much. I don't remember how many heroes topped at my regionals in Phoenix. I know there's quite a few that did really well. Also, we all know YCS 2012 was won by Windups in Toronto, and that Psychics did really well by Jeff Jones. I don't know the other regionals in the United States. I'm not sure if they did really. I'm not sure what did really well. I'm not sure what topped. I'm not sure what top 8, whatever. So if you're watching this video as of actually, if you just watch this video overall and you remember anything from those regionals, the September 1st weekend, the very first weekend, if you want to put down below what did really well at those regionals, what topped, or even at YCS. I haven't seen the full list myself. I've been too busy with school and doing homework, so I'm doing this kind of on just on a whim. And if you guys can put down below, I'll probably check up later after this video. But if you want to put down below what did really well at your regionals, what surprised you, what decks that you didn't expect did really well. Like I mentioned, heroes are going to do really well in this format. Another deck that's got a lot of buzz, which a ton of buzz for it. Oh, I'm just stung myself. Is Georgias. Georgias. I didn't say Georgintas like I did in the last video, but Georgias. I still might not even be saying it correctly, but Georgias. So good. But Georgias. It's just a really good deck to be played. Just because it's just a similar version of Karakuri's, but it's just like I don't know. I thought to myself that it was like a Karakuri and like plants kind of just mating and just having just really unique abilities to it. I guess like each deck has its pros and cons. For heroes, a lot of times this weekend, and I've seen when people activate Super Poly, it would be their cost was just another Super Poly. So like your main card in the deck. Oh, Miracle is your main card in the deck, but with Super Poly, it's like you just kind of like negged your one of your key cards just to use on something else, and you might not even have game with the Super Poly that you just used up. So and then sometimes people lose consistency. Sometimes if people try to like overextend to end games, the opponent can get a response in and end their turn. And then heroes do have a unique, not unique, but a really well top decking ability. But to top deck consistently really well, it's pushing a limit for myself. I like to play more conservative. When I play heroes, I didn't like to overextend as much as other people used to do, just because like stupid things would just get in the way and prevent me from winning. And there was nothing wrong with just poking with an alias just continuously in the face. So I put heroes so far right now number 1 on my list of just overall decks that will just do well in this format. Number 2 for me is Herp Derp Dark Worlds, and that's just because they have an insane amount of draw, an insane amount of field presence, and it's just a ridiculous deck that does really well no matter how you play it. Even I won't go as far to say as even like newcomers can play the deck really well, but people with a certain knowledge of Yu-Gi-Oh, of the game itself, of the format, can perform really well with the deck just because there's not too much to it. It's just like you want to put your Grapha in the graveyard, you want to pop shit off, and then you just want to summon it, and then you got a 3000 beater. I guess your only con to it is if you don't get Grapha out soon enough, and you just have to stay with these other things, you might get beat down by a higher attack for a couple turns, but I haven't seen that to be too much of a problem. Gears. I don't know really their cons. I guess because I only played against it once. And that was against my friend Hector. The only con I see against it is if you can stop their plays, they might lose field presence, and I guess that's a bad thing. I mean, I played my Watts against them, so I didn't really have to attack into their monsters. Um, but I guess if you can just prevent them from searching and bringing out big monsters and their exceed, you can. I think you can get game if you can attack them early on and prevent. Um, wind up control is still such an amazing concept, even though it got hit with the loop being prevented now. It's still such a control deck that it's so frustrating just because one card will cause an insane amount of just field presence and just trouble for you overall. Because fuck, I was trying to publish something to YouTube through my phone and it just stopped for me. That pissed me off because that was a duel between my buddies Heroes and Geargias. I really wanted to show that too, but I was talking. What was I talking about? Windups. So yeah, it's still an insane amount of just presence overall. I mean, just going into just meds and mains and overall, just, it's still just a basic field deck, a field control deck. Um, just insane amount of just overall power with it still. I didn't see any Lightsworn Dragons this weekend as well, so I'm not sure what's gonna happen with that deck. That deck just pretty much went to shit just because it's no Future Fusion and no Red Eyes Black Metal. Or Red Eyes Metal Black Dragon. Fucking fuck. I never knew how to pronounce that name. I don't even have the card with me. And then other decks that are on the rise, we also Psychics do really well. Like I said, I don't have the full YCS list of Toronto, so if I had that right here, I can probably name you some decks that did really well to me. That were just unique in the concept. One of the decks that did really well at my regionals was Dragnuities. It was Dragnuities Dragons, and it just like one card of Ducks, I think it was Dragnuity Ducks, would just start an insane play or an insane amount of displays of synchros and just high beater monsters that was just too much to take in. I believe he went 6-2, so he got his Nats invite. So good job for him as well. If you know who that is, comment down below. But other decks that I feel will do really well, my buddy Tyler did really well with Plants. I think I mentioned before, if I was really positive, but he did top 32, so I was correct on Tyler with Plants. Gravekeepers is always such a good meta deck, just because of Royal Tribute with Necro Valley, and then if you can get that off correctly with early on in the duel, then it's like no way that your opponent can come back. And then obviously if you set up field presence, it's stupid insane. Especially like Malefic Gravekeepers. Malefic Skill Drain is another deck I saw consistently do okay. Like I mentioned, one of the decks I faced was Galaxy TK. I don't know if that deck will do well, just because some of the cards kind of got hit. Glad Beast. I don't think they could ever rebound as well as they used to be. I really want to talk about Watts, but I always talk about Watts. I think they can do really well actually. Watts. That's just another field present deck that if you can stick, depending on how you play. If you want to do the Hopper Lock, then go for it. That's a really good style. But if you want to aggressive Watts or aggro, then it's just always like Cobra with Messenger Piece or any of the three direct attacks monsters with Messenger Piece is always a fine play. But I do know that this is going to be a really good format just for Black Wings. Sorry, Black Wings 6 AMs. A lot of 6 AMs. Don't know how I forgot about that. Frogs Frogs are getting a lot of support. In fact, like water cards are getting, or the water decks are getting a lot of support this format. Or seem to be on the rise. Frogs always do decently well. 6-Ams do okay if they can again if they can dominate field presence of their overall monsters. I know if you can bypass those monsters though, it's kind of hard for 6-Ams are just not a good top decking deck. So if you can make them lose everything, then fucking go for it. X-Sabers are mediocre to me. They're somewhere between tier 2 or high tier 2 to mid tier 2. Nothing bad about them. Just nothing too great about them. Especially if you're playing someone who's really new to the deck, and like the guy I faced, he forgot his Dark Soul effect twice. I wouldn't let him have it just because it was a turn too late. So you just gotta make sure you don't make rookie mistakes like that about it. Black Wings. I don't know what to say about Black Wings. Black Wings are just up and down. I see good Black Wing decks. I see bad Black Wing decks. It's just player choice. But then I always see like a stupid tech card that doesn't really fit well with the deck, and so it's like I gotta give credit to where credit's due. So if a player does really well with it, then I give credit to him. But if a player doesn't do really well with them, then it's either him or she, him or her, or it's just something within the deck that just doesn't really fit right. Overall, this is just going to be a really good format, really fun. I wish I got in my top, that way I could just play stupid shit throughout this whole format, but actually I'll just play stupid shit for whatever I want, actually, considering that the fact that the next regionals might not be for a while. But starting now, I have decided that I will go to YCS Seattle, but I don't know what to play. I have 2 months left because it's in November. If I really wanted to, I can troll. I could go balls to the walls with heroes, or I can go somewhere in the middle and probably play somewhere from windups to plants myself. Ship plants seems like a very good option to me, just because it has some stability now to it. But overall, put down below what you think will be a really good deck to play this format. If you want to, you can always subscribe. You don't have to, but it makes me feel a little bit better if you subscribe, because that means you're listening. That's the most important thing to me, is that you as YouTube watchers do care, I guess, for not the work that I put in for this actually. But yeah, put down below what you think is going to be really good this format, what you think got really hurt. We all know what got hurt, but just like what overall what you think is going to be the best played, the most played, and what do you think of the next 3 decks, the Geargias, Prophecy, and Madolches? What do you think about those? Because I don't have a lot of knowledge on those decks as well. I do know Madolches don't tend to have a graveyard, and then I personally don't know what Prophecies do. I might know within the next couple of weeks if my buddy wants to build one. And Geargias look like it's going to be a very good destruction deck. Overall, that's all I want to talk about today. If you want to know anything else, message me, give me an inbox, and let me know just how you personally feel about this format. I think it's going to be really fun. I'll catch you guys later. Just finish this right foot and hit you.